What's up, YouTube? So much has been going on. I'm gonna try and get everybody caught up in this episode. The outpouring of support has been amazing since the last video. I've gotten hundreds of Facebook comments and Instagram and YouTube about the community and what it's gonna be. And then also having gone to the website, which products are on there, go take a look. Conversion, rear seat conversion, the Delica intercooler kit. I kind of pushed it out there a little bit more, and I'm just doing nothing but answering messages. So obviously we got to tighten up that info loop and get going on it. But let's circle back to that after the video. Definitely want to catch up on this ice cream truck. This is something like a 1958 to 1962 International Metro Mite. This is the smallest step van ever made in the US, and the parts of this Cherokee are perfect to be used as an undercarriage for this thing. So cue the footage of tearing the Cherokee apart. This was a horrific experience trying to cut this thing up, but it was really cool in the moment. I tried to really stop where I thought something was cool because this truck is absolutely amazing. Tearing it apart here is nothing. The front end, the engine, getting all that stuff out, pretty standard. Let's stop when I start cutting into the body because it's really worth looking at it. It's very cool how minimal this thing really is. Check this out. Cutting up the Cherokee. Man, is it hot. I'm soaked. I'm grinding, and so I'm long sleeves. I should be wearing pants, but I just not interested. Shop's an absolute total mess. Carcass of the Cherokee, the crushed Cherokee, the rolled one. Haven't really got to this side. This side's kind of ripped up. Trying to keep it all neat, you know, laid out. Doors, even though they're crushed, I want the insides out of them. I need everything, or I should say I don't know what I need, so I have to take everything, or I want to take everything. Things like the, whatever that is, transmission computer, e-brake, foot pedals, steering column. I want it all. I don't know what I need. But over here, yeah, look at that, dude. Pulled the entire engine, transfer case, front axle. Which actually in hindsight was pretty dumb because I can't lift the truck, it'll just tip. There's no weight in the front. So I have to lift the back or resituate it, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge in a couple minutes, but there's all the other stuff laid out more or less neatly. What a mess. But anyway, look at what's inside this. This is pretty cool. So we cut the front end off. Just took a Sawzall right through the fender, that's nothing. And then here's sort of like the frame area and all these layers of sheet metal in there that compose what is the frame. And, you know, all these brackets just blobbed on there. Here's the other side. You can tell, man, this thing is crusty. It's a northern vehicle. I kind of underestimated how crusty it really was. But it's pretty cool how they just stack all this up, and there's inserts in there and stiffeners and extra plates. You know, it's just seam spot welded all the way along. So this was from the off-roader, you know, the big tires they cut and beat the pinch weld back. Up here is sort of like the upper fender piece. Going to the core support, I don't know what you call it. But like, look at all these layers of sheet metal just baked on. So here's one of the fenders, the strong side of the fender, because the steering box goes here. You know, for being the support for the entire front corner of the vehicle, the heavy corner, right? Like you could lift this. And there's the spring mounts. Like we said, the upper sort of box structure. Again, just all plated together. All these stiffeners inside that quasi frame rail, and all these bolts and all these internal pin things that act like studs. All these layers in here. You know, we already took some of the bracketry off for like the track bar mount and all that stuff, and it's just shit bolted onto this thing, you know, onto itself, just layers, and it really is cool. But I mean, like I said, so for the frame that holds up the front quarter of this vehicle, and it's the heavy quarter, I mean, I could lift this no problem, you know. You saw as I was cutting it off, it's nothing to hold. And this is the main structure of the vehicle. I mean, this thing is really incredible. So you contrast that light tinfoil bullshit. Look at the size of this engine and transfer case and transmission. I mean, 2.5 ton cherry picker. It takes every bit of that thing to lift all three of these bolted together. And then you got these axles and the tires. You know, I could barely lift one of those tires alone, let alone that axle. So I mean, it's just like, okay, what's important? Engine, transmission, transfer case, axles, springs, and then everything else just make out of tin foil. What a miracle. But anyway, like I said, I'm beat, and this is dangerous cutting like this late. What is it? It's 8 o'clock, 84 degrees, 100% humidity. Dangerous. I gotta be grinding, I gotta be cutting. I gotta clean this thing up. You can't even walk behind there. All the wiring harness and everything's all laid out. So anyway, just wanted to share the suck. You can probably see it in my eyes and voice. This sucks, but this is what it is. This is the prerequisite to do the awesome stuff. So let's get to it. While we're watching this being torn apart and just appreciating just the sheer simplicity of this thing, and now we know why it's so light. There's almost no material in here whatsoever. But the parts of this Cherokee are not going to go to waste. So that ice cream van's going to be the go-to for our community. It'll be at all the shows, packing all the merch. We're going to use it behind the scenes as sort of like a PR vehicle. There's a bunch of fellow businesses that want to use it as well, so hopefully we can try and make it as generic as possible. Events like Glamis, drive it out there on the sand. And I don't know about selling ice cream with permitting and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure I can give it away. But yeah, it's just going to be awesome. So unfortunately, this Cherokee had to die to make it happen, but I'm excited, and let's make the most of it. All right, I'm hot, I'm tired, sun's going down, but this thing, the rolled Cherokee, is no more. Check it out. There's the roof, rear quarter, front clip, piece of the floor. Look at this shop, is absolutely trashed. The hood, I'm going to throw that on the wall. All the bushwhacker those fenders, the AC stuff, springs, tanks. Engine, transmission, transfer case, axles, springs, rear hatch, fuel tank, pile of doors. There's what's left of the frame. There's the rear section. Oh. And so there you have it. We're one step closer to today, which is having the engine and transmission and axles and everything sitting on these frame rails, which would be the next video. Really short because, I mean, you just lay it out and put it on frame rails, but there is kind of some intricacies and some interesting points with that. And also, we'll smash in some of the other stuff that's been happening around the shop because it's absolutely crazy. We could do videos just on every single one of those individual projects. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it with that. Please, if you enjoyed this, I know everybody's not gonna like it, but if you enjoyed it, throw me a like, subscribe to follow along. I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff like this. Don't forget to tell me what you think. Hit the website, check it out, join the community, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.